Once again, welcome back to the 25K Day Trading Challenge. If you're new to this channel, the goal is to make 25,000 in the year of 2026 with a margin account of 30,000. Daily goal is $100 on a trading day, which averages about 2,100 per month, and that's how we get 25K. And I'm putting in real trades, trying to get real results, showing you what's going on. This is from last month in January, reviewed it on another video, and as you can tell, I fell short of the goal, but I was green for the month. I made a lot of mistakes and I carried it over into the next month, which is what we're in right now, the first week of February. Currently, I was not able to make any trades whatsoever from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And in fact, it was because of the mistakes made in the last week of January, in which I bag held a couple of stocks, a few stocks, due to over leveraging, oversizing, not having stops, not having appropriate risk management. And so as a result, I had risk of a margin call. Actually, had a margin call in which I had to add $1,500 to my account, or else I would have gotten margin called. So I added 1,500 and I avoided a margin call. But due to the stock market, not sure if you've been following the stock market the past few weeks, it's been tanking. Bitcoin is below 70,000. All the AI tech stocks were getting hit. We had some volatility earnings with some of the Mag 7s, and silver was dropping. Gold was dropping after it was making all crazy all-time highs. But I'm just glad that Friday last week, um, the market did show some buying, and it was green, and so I was able to get out of that margin call that I had a deadline on February 10th. So if price continued to drop or didn't increase, I had to put in more money into my account or liquidate some of my shares. So I'm glad that the market was green last Friday, and so I avoided a margin call, and so my account is back into the safe category. But I'm still unable to trade because all my money is tied up. I'm bag holding um, a few stocks, and let's go look at some of them here. So let's see if I can pull it up for you. Um, let's see here. All right, so let's look at one of the stocks I'm holding, which is Open Door. So currently, my position on Open Door is, I believe, at 560, 61. And as you can see here, the price dropped all the way to 469, and luckily it's at still at 488. um, so it's gone up a little bit, but it's definitely still below my entry point, and it's below this trend line. So hopefully it can break back into the range and at least pick me up um, to get me out of this position. They do have earnings coming up on the 19th, and so hopefully there'll be some movement on the stock up, and looking to hopefully get out of that position. I don't know if I want to hold it um, at the actual earnings day, because a lot of the earnings, um, it's just been dropping even with good news. And so I'm holding that. So I'm looking for hopefully a move up, um, to try to break through this resistance on this downward channel, get back into range, and um, get out of this position. The other position I have is SoFi. Um, I'm back holding this stock way up at $26. So right here is where I got trapped. Price dropped, and I just held. I didn't have a stop loss. I was actually thinking it was bounce. I was trying to do an earnings play. So one lesson from that is if your thesis is wrong, just get out. Because if I got out, I could have at least caught this move here. So instead, I held it because I do not like to lose. I made a video about that and how I hate to lose, and losing actually costs you a lot of money and potentially can mess up your whole trading career. So just learn to cut losses, especially if you're wrong. It's not about being right, it's just about respecting the market, and we have no control on what they want to do. So Pi's earnings were not terrible, they're not bad, but they just had a big old sell off for some reason, just kept selling off. And so that's how close I was to getting margin account, and I did get a margin call a couple times. And so thankfully there was this bounce here, enough to bring my total um, account back up. So I'm hoping that it will break through this 200 and get back to some sort of bullish um, movement, at least retest this area so I can get out of my situation. Um, but sometimes when you're in such a big drawdown like this and price actually begins to move up closer, you're so focused on just trying to get out that you you don't want to take the risk of even riding it higher. And so I noticed that because it's happened to me several times, and I get frustrated when that happens because you're waiting so long, waiting so long for price to finally get to you. And if you entered appropriately, you would be more patient. But psychologically, you're just so traumatized, you just want to get out, right? But hopefully, this is not just another dead cat bounce and continued move downward, but this is actually going to um, continue forward, continue up, and maybe fill. Well, it's already filled those gaps, but anyways, at least it's had some green days because it had about 9 consecutive red days, and it's just SoFi I believe is a good stock. I'm actually bullish on it, but I just made a mistake being so determined to hold on to my position, and statistically listening to all these voices and this noise saying like statistically, historically, SoFi is always pumped before earnings. And of course, the time when I finally decide to do that, go heavy, um, it does the opposite and just drops. So um, this was earnings, and it wasn't even pumping at all, and then it just dropped. So these are stocks I'm holding. I also have Bitfarm, but I don't know if I didn't have that stock up, but I'm back holding that for some time. To be quite honest and transparent, I've had that stock even before the uh, 25K challenge in January, and so um, my account's kind of tied up with all these different positions. I also have an Intel position that about 200 shares that I have a option on trying to learn options, and I just messed it up because I picked the wrong time to try to learn options because um, I have a strike price of 46 for a call option, and I know, look at the current price on this, it's at above 50. So my expiration date's on the 27th, and premiums are just too expensive, and I don't really know what to do, to be quite honest and frank. So I totally messed that up because if I just held on to shares and just sold it, I would probably have met my goal because I had about 300 shares on this thing. So, um, yeah. Anyways, hopefully, things change in the next week. I only have left now 1, 2, 3 weeks. So, and I am to try to meet my goal, but it is what it is. Just keeping it real, and hopefully you guys are doing well. And I appreciate you guys watching. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Um, like, subscribe, and um, until next time, God bless.